is Matt, and I've done probably 30, 40 overnight or more motorcycle trips, and this is the 5 things that you need to know before taking a long motorcycle trip. And number 1 is you should definitely take a couple short ones before you go on that week-long vacation. Now, I did one overnight trip. Come to think of it, no, I didn't. The longest trip I ever rode was an hour, and then I rode 750 miles. It ended up being 12 or more hours down to Gulf Shores, Alabama. I refused to stop because I'm an idiot. I should have stopped halfway, made it into 2 trips or a trip and a half. Didn't have any cruise control, didn't have a throttle lock. I had 50 pounds of stuff on my backpack because I didn't have bags at that point. On my motorcycle, it was just a basic 650, which I'm glad it was comfortable enough. But boy, yeah, on the way back, I took 2 days, day and a half to get back, stopped in Memphis. And I'm so glad I did it that way. But yeah, definitely take some short trips, get the feel of it, and see what you need. And that brings me on to number 2, which is you are going to overpack on your first one. And you're going to forget this and that, and you're going to get stuff that you don't need. And it just takes time to get everything that you actually need on a long motorcycle trip. I'd recommend having a bike with bags. I got a big backpack here, and you start feeling that. I'm a young guy, I'm in great shape, and you start feeling that that weight on your back after a couple hours, I'll tell you that. Now, number 3 is dress so you can adjust for the weather. So, good example here. We got this vintage Dan Easy leather jacket. Now, leather is going to cut all the wind, but it's perforated. And it's got vents here, zipper vents. You can open them up, give you a little bit more ventilation. You can open up the sleeves. That really helps getting ventilation. But if you don't have a perforated jacket, if it's going to be under 80, you can still wear a leather jacket, unzip it halfway. You're going to lose a little bit of safety, yeah, but it's going to provide good airflow. Unzip those sleeves. It's like having air conditioning. Now, if you're going to Florida, if you're going to Alabama, and you know you're not going to be anywhere below 70 or 65, get you a nice thin vintage jacket like this. What I like to do is I got my leather pants, and anywhere below 70, I wear those, and they're good down to 20. But in the summertime, what I like to do is I bring a pair of pants and I bring a pair of shorts, and I got these kind of extra large riding pants, nylon or whatever. They're made to ride and slide. They're not leather, but they're very vented. So when you wear my shorts underneath, bam, got all the airflow in the world. Gets a little bit cool, put my pants on, but make sure you dress for whatever weather may come for. Make sure you have the proper bike for the trip. I had a Ninja 650. I ended up putting aftermarket bags on it. Loved them. They had 23 liters capacity. These have 36. You can fit a full-size helmet in there. You want to bring a passenger along, you can throw their helmet in there. Won't get stolen. Have extra luggage, but it's just me so far until when you backpacks hit me up in the comments. But anyway, yeah, I would definitely recommend having saddlebags. And the biggest thing is the riding position. The H2 has risers, got clip-ons, but it has risers. That helps out a lot. The seat is very, very comfortable. It doesn't seem like it because it's so cold. Very squishy and comfortable. And another thing is get some tank grips. And that will really help your fatigue because you're going to be gripping that tank when you're doing some pulls. And that's going to actually tire you out. It's going to restrict blood flow. And you're not going to have as much stamina in your in your riding. Also, if you restrict blood flow, you wouldn't have any stamina other ways. But anyway, so number 5. Number 5 is, God, I hate to say it, plan your trip, but don't have everything set in stone. After all these trips, when I went to Tail of the Dragon, when I bought this bike, I had no idea what I rode down to Nashville. It was about a 5-hour ride or something, 5.5-hour ride down there. Spent the night in Nashville, traded in. I said, I'm going to just ride this down, the new H2 down to Tail of the Dragon, because I'm crazy, I'm insane, I'm an idiot. But that's what I did. And I don't regret it. I just took more time off work. And I told my boss I'd be back to work when I feel like it. So be able to adjust to the weather, adjust to your schedule, adjust your work, and adjust for your comfort level. If you get tired, if it gets dark, and in the springtime there's going to be a lot of animals coming out, especially if you're over in the Black Hills or whatever. You're in the South, you're in the country, there's going to be a lot of animals come out at night. You're not going to see them. Maybe get that hotel at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock before it gets too dark. And now I wanted to give you a quick bonus. So many times where, especially on Tail of the Dragon, Smoky Mountains, wherever, going to Branson, you're not going to have cell service. And I get lost. I've gotten lost pretty easily because I just take all back roads. I take whatever road I haven't been on is the one that I want to take. And so that's just what I do. And you're not going to have cell phone service a lot of the times. You can't rely on Google Maps. So what I do is, instead of having paper maps, which would be pretty smart probably because it wouldn't take up a lot of space, what I do is I take screenshots of my route, zoom in, zoom out, screenshots of my route, and other close alternative routes that I could also take just in case there's a road closure, which I've ran into before. I've ran into so much, even just on all these trips in the past year. But anyway, screenshot your maps and study your route very, very carefully. Maybe even write down every road you're going to go down an approximate amount of miles, because it's much easier to miss a sign on a motorcycle, a road sign, because you're so concentrated on just staying alive. So. But that's a 5, and one bonus thing about what I've learned from taking a bunch of long motorcycle trips. But have fun.